Salutations, everybody. My name is Funkin Shrapnel from the Guys of the Games, back with some more Final Fantasy IX. Today's probably going to be a shortest episode, I guess we'll see, but I'm battling, I don't know if battling is the right word, but I have a weird cold that's like my throat is kind of sore, but also not really, but also it kind of is. Like, I'm not tired or anything, like literally it's just sore throat and like nausea. That's all I have right now basically, but that's all it takes when it comes to talking, so probably not gonna do too much talking. So today will be a shortish part. I'm just gonna finish Mognet and we'll see if I can do that one Stellazzio, because I totally forgot we already got the Stellazzio stuff and then didn't do anything. Where do I need to go? We need to go to Q's Marsh. So that's where our next guy is. I do have a couple things that I could maybe talk about, but not right now because it's a it's a short little endeavor here to Q's Marsh. Do I have Quena with me? I don't even remember, it's been so long. I do not, so let's take Quena off, because you need Quena with you for this. It's kind of a funny little thing, is this one's important. So I guess technically speaking, speedrun wise, the fastest way to do this is to already have Quena with you. Which is kind of a funny little quirk of this particular spot. Because yeah, the area where Falsaru was, you absolutely need Quena with you for that. Can I guess not. Actually, is there gonna be frogs to catch? I didn't even think about this. I mean, yeah, but not really worth it. It's like, what, one tadpole there? Don't worry about that later. Let's go over here. Where does this put us? There we go. Oh, the encounter, of course. You can probably tell I'm sick because I'm talking pretty soft, and also like I'm basically just saying things for the sake of saying them, which, like, yeah, I usually do, but it usually takes me a while to get to that point. After I've been recording for like almost an hour, that's when I get to the point where it's just like words coming out of my mouth that mean nothing. Oh, those toady toads. Those toad of toads. Hey, you got Restore HP. Actually, it's kind of funny because Restore HP is one of the things I wanted to talk about. Because I haven't really gone over what Restore HP really does. I've kind of mentioned offhand that it's like, because like it's like what the description says, you know, when you get to low HP it helps you out, but it's kind of vague about that because that's not really what Restore HP does. Like if you look at the description here, where is it? Is it really? What the hell? Where is it? There. Jeez, it's apparently hard to see. Restore HP. So it says it restores HP automatically when near death. But that's kind of a misleading way to refer to it, because it does that, but not the way you'd expect it to. Anyways, here's Moi. Letter from Kamul. Thanks, dude. From Kamul to Moi. I understand, Kupo. Mognet will function again once we have some. I think Moi would know, Kupo. But there's no space. Is that like a mistake? There's no space between the no and the Kupo. I think that's technically a mistake. Where is that item? We need to repair Mognet. They gotta tell me more than that item, Kupo. Yeah, no kidding. You gotta deliver a letter to Nagi for me, Kupo. Thanks, Kupo. If you're curious, if we come down here, the path is just blocked. I don't remember when this happens. I'm pretty sure this happens like basically as soon as you like actually like enter the area, or like at least like on disc 3. You're not allowed to come back through here because, you know, technically you could get soft locked. Right? If you went to the outer continent again and didn't have the boat with you, it's like, well, GG. Thicket. I do like how it's referred to as the thicket. I think this whole area is the thicket, right? Yeah. But yeah, if you don't have Quina with you, you can't actually enter that screen. The area to like walk over there just doesn't exist. Well, since we're stuck in a battle, so what Restore HP does is it says that it restores HP when near death. What that actually means specifically is that if you're at yellow HP and you get attacked while at yellow HP, you'll restore HP up to half of your HP. So like if you're, you know, which since you have to be at low HP, basically just means it restores half your max HP. So that's mainly why it's not very good, especially for 8 stones, because first of all, it's a heal that's very situational. It only heals you when you're at low HP. And like, you know, for Amaranth, for example, if it triggered, it would heal about 13,000 HP, give or take, or 1,300, I should say. Right, about 1,300 HP. And the obvious thing here that you may have thought about is that you have to be at yellow HP to get that to trigger. Like, it's not you get hit down to yellow HP and you get healed. It's you have to be at critical HP, and then if you get hit again, then you heal. Because obviously the problem there is that if that kills you, you don't get the heal. So that means it's only really useful if you're getting hit by something that's already very weak. Like, it's basically only useful if like you're fighting weak enemies or if you're just really topped off on defense. Like, I guess theoretically, now we actually got Bahamut Auto Regen, nice. Theoretically, it's useful if they're using Gamble Defense, I guess. But Gamble Defense itself also sucks, given the way defense scales in this game makes it just not very worth it most of the time. But that's like the one situation where you could kind of use it, but neither of them are very good like they're both bad by themselves, and even together they're not particularly great. So like if Restore HP was cheaper maybe, but like 8 stones, and like keep on that auto regen, you know, the thing that constantly healing you throughout a fight and is considered like God mode, costs 10 to equip. It's 2 more. So it's just kind of like that case of, well, why wouldn't you just use that for 2 more stones? It's very silly. Does Quina actually have anything left to learn at this point? Like, I was pretty much just teaching him auto regen, right? We'll put Vivi back in. So we were looking for... was it Kamul? Who was the next one? I know where we have to go. It's, whatchamacalliter. It's the guy at Daggero. It's like this is the one time that anything ever requires you to come here, basically. I mean, I say that, but that's not true because there's the Excalibur quest and whatnot, but this is the only time that something requires you to come here that you don't get the quest in Daggero. Dagario? Man, I'm bad. I always forget how to pronounce the name. I looked it up the one time and then I just forgot again. Anyways, it's the Moogle here. So let us go and hang out here. Kind of the nice thing about the Mognet Central Quest, that since you're going to the Moogles, it's not like you have plenty of opportunities to save in between, because obviously every single Moogle is a save point, so... Nagi. There you go. A letter from Moi. Thanks for delivering it. From Moi to Nagi. I think Mognet can go back to standard operation if we get the right item. Kupo. If you ask me, I think the item they're looking for is that thing. You know what I mean, right? It's that thing. Very specific. That thing. Oh, I know, Kupo Kupo. I have a favor to ask. And finally, we gotta deliver another letter to Kupo, who's all the way back in Alexandria. Which means it's time to head on back. Oh, I should also equip Dagger, I guess, because we should just learn Bahamut, so... Can finally take that off. So just put the boots on her for autoflow, because she's almost there anyways. I did do it like while I was doing stuff off screen, which was basically just me getting more cotton rope farming done. I did do a little bit of let me look here. I got a few more aquamarines, and I actually farmed some ore off screen by just going to if you want to farm ore off screen, the easiest way to do it is to just bring Aiko with you and then just spam Jewel on a weak enemy. Just make sure you have auto regen on and you're good. What I like to do is the snakes near Dali, because they only have two things they can do. They can either physical attack or they can cast thunder. So what you do is you just kill 2 of the 3 of them, or you know how many you are in battle. Kill all but one. Silence that one. Blind it if you want to. The blinding makes things a little faster because obviously even if he's hitting you for like 2 damage, it'll eventually put you into trance, which is kind of slow, but that's just like a little extra benefit. So you blind and silence it, and then you just put your cursor on memory so it remembers where it is, and then you can basically just hold the the cross button down, A button, whatever button it is. Hold the button you use to input. Just hold that button down, and you'll just cast Jewel like a couple, like maybe like. Especially if you have a half MP on, you can cast it quite a few times before you have to like reset. Jewel technically has actually let me look this up. So I believe Jewel has a base accuracy of... Yeah, it has a base accuracy of 50. However, because we're using it on a very low level enemy, which is part of the benefit, it pretty much always hits. Like, it's 50 plus your level plus your magic stat divided by 4 minus the target's level. So, and I believe technically it's a little different because it doesn't check their evasion stat at all. Actually, oh no, it does. Okay, so it can miss still, but it's like, consider, for example, it's 50 plus level plus your magic divided by 4, right? So, I don't know what Aiko's magic stat, but like, let's just look at Garnet, for example. So it's like, it's 50 plus a level of 41, which is 91. And then we look at our magic stat, which is 46, divide that by 4. It's about 11 and a quarter, right? I guess it's 11 and a half. And I think it just, anytime there's a decimal, it just gets rid of the decimal. Everything gets floored in this game, I believe, for the most part. So, it's 91 plus 11. So you have your base accuracy is above 100%. Minus their level, which, early game enemies are all like, level 2. So basically your chance of hitting is basically guaranteed as long as you're doing it against a low enemy. Which is actually like a huge benefit to it, because it does make it very easy to... It means you'll, if you use it against the same guy like 50 times, you'll miss maybe 1 time. Like, it actually does go by pretty quick. And obviously, another benefit is that it's low like execution, right? You just press X, or you don't even have to press anything. You just hold the button down. You have to make sure to kill off your other party members too, because if they're alive, obviously they'll just attack or something. But you kill them off and they can't do anything. It's just, once you get everything set up, it goes by pretty fast. Oh, whoops! I didn't mean to do this, but I guess. I guess here we are. How many did I do at the beginning of the game? I don't even remember at this point. Let's get to like, I don't know, like 100. Kind of the nice thing about this is that because it's, you know, a rhythm, rather than like any sort of like, I like that animation. I think that's a different animation than usual. Because usually when he does his little hat brim, you know, he shakes his hat around a little, he like bends forward a little. But there he was like looking at the sky almost doing it. Alright, let's give Kupo the final letter. A letter from Nagi? A letter from Nagi to Kupo. I now know what's needed to run the machine in Mognet Central. It's super slick. I heard a rumor about it. The rumor said that someone in Alexandria has it. That's what I heard, Kupo. Find it and send it to Central right away. Ah, super slick, Kupo, but I don't know who has any. I guess this whole time I could have been handing off my Kupo nuts to get stuff, but it's not a big deal. It's like you mostly just get like, at this point you just get the basic consumables, so. Anyways, they're pretty vague about it, because they don't actually tell you anything, but it's like, actually, I wonder if Artemisian says anything after we've like, alright, I mean Stiltskin, jeez, I'm getting them mixed up. No, there's no hint. I'm kind of surprised that there's nothing to like goad you on, but they tell you it's in Alexandria, and there's really only so many people to talk to, so. Anyways, it's actually, funny enough, it's someone we do know. It's Ruby. Which maybe makes sense in some way. For whatever reason, you know, you walk up to Zidane and... Well, fry my hide! How'd you know I use this here super slick in my hair? You want to try some? How come you be needing it? You want to be beautiful like me? You're pulling my leg, aren't you? No? Well, I'll get my folks to send some more. You can have this one. Receive super slick. You ain't gonna give it to some girl as a gift, are ya? I do love that. The super slick. A rare item received in Mognet Central. Makes you very soft. During my trip, I want to find super slick and make my fur baby soft. Just kidding, says Stiltskin. But yeah, you grab it from Ruby. And from here, we're just gonna, you know, back on out to Mognet Central. I guess before we go there, though, I will stop by the place we need to go for the final Stellatio coin we need. And it's not... If you actually read the coins, like this one's kind of obscure because it's obviously because you need the 12 coins first. It's in a spot we've already been, but it doesn't appear until you have all 12 coins on you from the queen. Or from the ladybird person thing. So if you actually read all of these things, it's like how best to catch Virgo's heart. Watching the sunset from the cape, Virgo whispered, my only wish is to be with you now. So there's a lot of little hints. Like the Virgo one says watching the sunset from the cape, so we know it's somewhere that has a sunset, which like, I mean, maybe if you don't necessarily, you might not even read into this and think that it means anything, but that is kind of what it means. But the Cancer one also kind of mentions it. Cancer headed to the cape where Virgo waited. The sun was setting into the ocean. Would he finally see her? Then they showed up and began to fight, and then into the ocean they fell. He asked everyone, who kissed Virgo? But, yeah, so basically we're going to a cape near the ocean where the sun sets. And if you actually think about that, it's like, well, there's actually not that many places that are like that, you know? There's kind of one big location. And that's actually Quan's dwelling. Just right over here. It's actually, like, right next to Trino, so it's not a very long go. Just kind of a funny thing. And you might think it's at the spot near where the Chocobo spot is, but it's actually just in the same spot that we found you-know-who earlier. So if we come right over here to this little corner. There's something under where the Scorpio used to be. I have no idea to pronounce as Orpheus. That can't be it. Orpheus? Orpheus? The Scorpio and the Virgo just sparkled in his hands. A rare item received in Quan's dwelling. Just like this one. Their future was uncertain, but Scorpio and Virgo kissed in the light of dusk. That moment meant everything. Orpheus. Orpheus. Maybe? I don't know. Anyways. I guess in the downtime... I wanted to... There was something I wanted to talk about, but I don't even know how to, like, segue into it. Like... There's been a lot of hints throughout the game about how... Well, I guess I shouldn't say a lot of hints, but, like... There's a lot of, like, little... Like, how do I segue into this? This is kind of funny. I want to talk about this. Like, I guess I want to talk about, the line that Kuja says at the Aoife tree when he's talking to Zidane, where he says, "Oh, brother." And that has always been one of those lines that's kind of stuck out in my head, because it's kind of like, first of all, it's a brilliant line, given the context of the fact that they are in fact brothers, but it's the fact that it's like a piece of dialogue that literally only works because this game does not have voice acting. Right? Because it doesn't have voice acting, you kind of have to read it on, you read it yourself, and you can either interpret it as, "Oh, brother." You can either interpret it as the actual, like, saying, where, you can just go, "Oh, brother." Or you can interpret it as, once you actually know that they are actually brothers, essentially, you can interpret it, much more literally as, "Oh, brother." And then now we're about to get turbo speed Stilatio coins here. And it's such a cool piece of dialogue, because it is like I said, it's a piece of dialogue that only works because there's no voice acting to, like, tell you exactly how he says it, right? You have to interpret it yourself. And that's something that can only be done in a game like this that doesn't have voice acting, which is one of those many things that's like I always say, like, I think voice acting in games is overrated. Like, don't get me wrong, it's fine. But, you know, we get the hammer from this, which is, I always think this is very funny, because it's like, oh, we got a hammer. It's not even a key item. The hammer is just a piece of equipment, and if you look at the description, it actually says it's Cinna's hammer for some reason. Even though, obviously, you can't equip it, and like, I don't even know why they bothered giving it the description Cinna's hammer, because Cinna does have a hammer, but you can never see the hammer in his like you can't look at his inventory at all. I am satisfied, Queen Stella. You can't look at the inventory at all to see that he has a hammer equipped or like whatever. I just always thought that was weird. I don't know my are the coins that are spinning the fastest, is that Virgo and Scorpio? I can't tell. I don't know what the symbols are for the you know what, so maybe those are the ones that are spinning the fastest, which is kind of another hint, but I actually don't even know if that's true, so, you know, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, I guess. But, I don't know, I just think that's, it's a very cool piece of dialogue that I've already said that, but I don't know, like, how often do games do that kind of thing? Like, how many lines of dialogue can you think of in a game where it only works in the context of there's no voice acting, basically? Like, how many games do that? I guess not even necessarily games, even just stories in general. Like, what's a book that does that? A line of dialogue that only works because you have to read it. What are we doing? Right, the super slick. You know what? Since I'm probably closer to here, let's go back to Daggro for. Or no, wait. No, what am I doing? No. Let's go to the. Actually, I guess yeah. Let's just go to Mognet first. Because I want to go to the Black Mage Village before we finish things off and actually like finally synthesize the stuff we want to synthesize. But first things first. Let's go to Mognet here. Ah, damn it! I'm too close. This is the kind of greed they talk about in the Bible or something like that. I don't know. I just don't want to get an encounter with a grand dragon here. I'd probably be fine, but they're still a little scary. So. Because let's be real, if I wiped, I would not keep this part. I would not show that. I would reset. So nobody reacts us having the super slick. But, you know, just taking a look at it one more time. Makes you very soft. Hey, you brought some super slick. Will you give it to me? No way. Why? Sniff, sniff. Imagine some random dude, like nobody ever comes here except for Moogles, and then some random dude with a tail just comes in, has the thing you need, and when you ask him for it, they're just like, nope. Thanks! With this oil. Hooray, it's finally working. Thanks, I'll give you this in return. You get a protect ring. I was happy because my coat became so soft, but it took everyone's fun away. I'm sorry. Everything is okay now, and we can't play cards with him. Mognet can resume operation again, Kupo. Thanks for delivering 27 letters. So this guy will actually tell you how many letters you've delivered. I forget, how many letters are there in total? Let me see. Actually, gonna quickly look this up. I probably did miss a letter at some point, but according to the wiki, there are That number can't be right. 27 letters? Maybe it doesn't count? No, it can't be. Because literally, according to this, there's like 45 letters, and I've only done like 27. Huh. Actually, here, well, let me look up, Actually, no. According to the wiki, so I think what it is that all the bonus stuff doesn't count. Like, anything that isn't an actual, like, letter you're delivering to another, like it actually only counts the letters you deliver. Not like you walk up to a Moogle and they get a letter from Stiltskin, right? So there are actually only 27 letters, so I actually did get it. All 27. There might be some random bonus ones I didn't do, but those are the letters you have to actually deliver. And hey, look, Stiltskin's here. Hey, it's starting up again. This is Mognet Central. Can we talk to this guy? Nope, you're actually blocked off here. How funny. Alright, we're pretty much done. This is going to be a short part, like I said, but we got to talk about a couple things. And I am going to go ahead and we're going to head to the Black Mage Village here, and we'll do our synthesizing, see what, you know, hopefully we can make everything we need from that point, but, you know, there's always something, I swear. And the problem is I don't think I'm going to be able to overmake like I usually do, but at this point in the game I don't think it really matters that much. Quae. Alright, you wacky mages. Black Mage Village ahoy. Welcome to the Black Cat Synthesis Shop. Remember when I used to have trouble saying that? There was like a brief time where I was like, I couldn't say the word synthesis. Like, I don't know why. It just happens sometimes. Just a word I cannot say. Alright. The Masamune. Boom. The Dual Claws is a weapon you can make, but like I said, you only get one pair of Dragon's Claws. So if you make these, you can't... you I would make it, but I don't want to. I might as well keep it, because there is actually a pair you can steal in the final dungeon, so... But you can see, like, there's some very good things to make here. Like, you can make a Rosetta ring. Kinda surprised you can... I'll make a gold choker, why not? You can make grand armor using Mithril sword and Mithril armor, which I will make one slice. Why not? You can make a brave suit, which is very funny. Brave suit, funny enough, I feel like it's kind of an item that's like, it's very funny. Because in the Bravely Default series, this thing actually has like an effect, because, you know, the Brave suit in the Bravely Default series makes sense, but this is just an item from beforehand in the Final Fantasy series. It's just kind of like, yeah, it's got some stuff. Oh, dang. There, we made one bracer, because you don't want to make more than one because it takes battle boots. Does someone already have our power belt equipped? Or did I just screw myself? But anyways, the bracer lets Amaranth learn power throw. It also raises wind elemental attack, so it's a decent thing to equip onto like someone who's using wind elemental attack, like say Dagger. The priest racket mostly doesn't matter, but it is like the second strongest racket, and you know, it does come with might and silence. So if Lyko hasn't learned those, there you go. But yeah, it's kind of tricky to make some of these things, because it's just, you know. There's let's say, I don't know how to put it, like The things at this point in the game require so many resources to make that it's like a bit of a pain is all. Anyways, the Masamune is not that strong compared to Ultimate Weapon. It's actually weaker than even the Orichalcon, but as you can see here, for one thing, Masamune actually gives Zidane magic +2, which is kind of abnormal. It's the only weapon he has that gives him magic, and Zidane doesn't really use magic much, but it does technically make his status attacks a little more accurate because that does use his magic stat. The big thing with Masamune, though, is that it gives him add status Doom. So that gives him access to the only add status Doom. Right? That gives him access to the most accurate Doom attack in the game, basically. Which is can be nice for certain enemies, like for example against the Yan that destroyed us before. Brave suit too. Let me see this. How good is the brave suit? What does the brave suit do for us? Brave suit raises fire elemental attack. It doesn't really give anything you don't have, but it does give good defense, quite a bit more than the others. Even the dark gear at this point, but raising your fire elemental attack is not particularly useful given that, you know, the only characters that have the only characters that can use this are Amarant and Zidane, and I'm not sure if either of them have access to a fire elemental attack. Kind of funny, actually. I never even thought about that. In fact, Zidane doesn't have any elemental weapons in this game. So the Brave Suit raising fire elemental attack is basically pointless. As far as I'm aware of, I don't think Amarant gets access to a fire weapon. Actually, you know what? Let me look this up quickly. This is technically spoilers, but let's look this up quickly. Does Amarant get access to any fire claws? No, he does not actually. The funny thing is the way his final item is described, you almost would think it would give him darkness, but it does not do that either. Which I guess is spoilers, but the funny thing is the Tantalus members can also oh, I guess that's true. Amarant can use Return Magic, which means that if he returns a fire spell, that does actually get boosted by Brave Suit. So that is one way for it to actually get used. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, let's give him the Bracer, because that gives him Power Throw. Guess let's just slap the ninja gear onto him. And yeah, I think we're good. I'll talk about what Amarant's Power Throw is next time. That's his final. That's one of his signature abilities. It's not even his final one, but you can see it's very expensive. 19 stones, but it is pretty good. But we will see that next time. Or I'll talk a bit about the hammer and other things. Anyways, I guess that'll be it for this part. See you guys later.